Oh yeah, that definitely works. So cool. Well, it looks like we have another radio system to use here at the RC Driver Workshop. This is the recently released DX5 Pro. Now, this is a pretty neat radio system for those of you who may want to go and upgrade from your current Spektrum radio system. Perhaps you have a ready-to-run radio that came with one of your Horizon hobby vehicles, and you're ready to go to the next level. Well, that's where this radio might be the right radio for you. Or maybe you're looking to change radios from another brand. You're looking for something that's pretty well priced and gives you a lot of features so you can grow into that radio system, as your hobby expands. So this particular radio here is a bit different from the DX5R. This one has some changes to it, and that's what we're going to go over today. But before we get into what makes this radio system different, let's check out what's inside the box, what you get with it. And obviously, you're going to get an instruction manual here. This one's pretty thick, guys, but I suggest reading through it so you know all the different functions that you're really paying for, that you're going to use sometime in your RC hobby. It comes really well packaged, obviously. Here it is. There's a radio system all bagged up, and it comes with a number of different accessories. That is what I really want to show you guys, because it's a bit different from the DX5R. And with the DX5R, you do get some accessories that help you customize the grip of the radio system, so it fits your grip a little bit better, but they give you a couple extra things here, and that's what I want to go over. So first up, I just want to show you guys the grips. And these are the different hand grips here. Obviously, there's already one on there when you do get it, but there are additional grips. And these just pop in, and again, that just allows you to adjust the feel of the radio for your particular needs. All right, the other thing I wanted to show you guys is in this bag here, and there are a number of different little pieces in here. So these are some adjustment pieces that allow you to adjust the angle of the wheel. So this is highly adjustable here. You could adjust the swing on it, you could adjust the angle of the wheel, and these pieces that will allow you to do that. There are some additional parts here that go along with that, and then it actually includes the spare wheel. On the DX5R, it didn't come with the additional wheel, but it gives you two here. So there's a larger one and a smaller one. And the 36-degree angle plate didn't come with the DX5R, so that's the main difference of the radio system as far as the ergonomics go. And the ergonomics are really nice on this thing. You could actually go a bit farther and adjust things like, the wheel tension, the trigger tension, the trigger position. So this is a really highly adjustable radio, so you get a great feel. So you could concentrate on driving your car versus just concentrating, on, is this radio feeling good? Am I holding it right? So they really went the extra mile to make sure that this is comfortable for all sorts of drivers. What I've also read is they've also changed the steering centering feel on this, so it's a bit more precise. So I think, Spektrum really did their homework before coming out with this one. And again, tuning it to make sure that it is comfortable for racers and drivers to use. Now, the other big features are inside the radio. Some of the things I want to talk to you guys about are this is a DSMR radio. It is backwards compatible. It has 250 model memory in there, and it has a lot of the features you would expect to see, such as you could select the model, change the model name, you could adjust the travels, steering travels, throttle travels, sub-trim, obviously reverse, which pretty much every radio has, but it's really easy to access, speeds and rates. That's one thing I wanted to mention, make sure I mentioned, was it goes down to a 5.5 millisecond frame rate for those of you with really fast servos, or, it could handle old analog servos as well. You have your exponentials, timers, binding, of course, mixing. So if you have a vehicle with a servo on the front, servo on the back, maybe you got a MOA set up, and you've got four-wheel steering, you could do mixing with it. That also works for the boating guys. I know they use mixing as well. There's AVC functions, ABS functions, automatic braking, idle ups for those of you running gas or nitro might want to use that, traction control, and you can go and really customize things down to the trim setups, the channel assignments, and telemetry, of course. It does have telemetry option in there, and I'm pretty psyched to see that because I have a few vehicles with Spektrum telemetry set up, so that works really well. And then we get into the drive mode. So the drive mode is what really separates this from the other radio systems out there. The drive mode is preset options from the factory, and it works with a number of different Horizon brand vehicles. And what that does is it allows you to change between maybe a trainer mode, a slick mode, full rip mode, and stability mode. So that's the big function change on this radio system, is that it allows you to do that. And this radio system is actually updatable. There are some different panels here you can pop down. There's a micro SD card in the back. The buttons are all really easy to access. There's a number of different trim dials all over the place. Lots of trim tabs on the front face here. So when you, let's say you are using one of those preset smart drive modes, you could go and hit the switch here and go through the different smart drive modes. You could switch from trainer to full rip if you wanted to. So that's pretty neat. And then there's obviously just trim functions all over the place here. It's a 5-channel radio system, so you can go and assign what dials you want to do what switches you want to do what. So again, this radio system, fully functional, really easy to use. And then everything is displayed here on the face of the radio. So it's got the large LCD screen. You use the thumb wheel to scroll through what you want to adjust, and then use the thumb wheel to actually push down and make those adjustments, move things around. So really easy radio system to use. I've used a number of Spektrum radio systems, and they just keep getting better and better. And I've been kind of messing around with this one before making this video, and I really like just going through and adjusting what I need to adjust. It's super easy. I mean, even down to shutting off the beeps and stuff like that. I did that before the video so it wouldn't be beeping in your ear, but really easy to set up. It's got a vibration mode in there, so if you want to go and use a lap timer and maybe set it up to vibrate when it hits a certain time while you're running your vehicle, it could do that. So, again, super functional radio system, and it's really well priced. I mean, at the time I'm reviewing this, the radio system, this particular one without the receiver, is about $240 US. The one with the receiver is, I think it was like $299. And again, those prices can vary, but it's really a reasonably priced radio. I mean, radio systems can get pretty expensive when it includes all of these features. But I think Spektrum stayed on point with it and did a great job in the pricing department. Now it does, this particular one does run on 4 AA batteries. You could go and get an aftermarket LiPo pack for it if you want to, but I'm just using it on 4 AA's. And what I really like about it is it uses screws to hold in the battery door. Some radio systems, or a lot of radio systems, it just slides in. And if you're running around, at the track or whatever, I've seen these doors pop open, batteries go flying out, and now it's even more chaos. But this particular, door does screw in. So that is a pretty neat feature. And overall, I really just like what they did with this DX5 Pro here. Now, obviously, that just leaves, testing, giving it a shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go hit the track with it. I'm going to set it up in my Tenacity T here. And after a little bit of testing, I'll swing back around and give you my final thoughts on the DX5 Pro. Man, guys, it is another freezing day here in New England. It's 30 degrees out. I hope the wind doesn't blow out the microphone. I can't even feel my fingers at this point. I've only been outside for 5 minutes, but I've already got the Spektrum DX5 Pro dialed into my Losi Tenacity T over there. Super easy to go into the menu, select that. Again, just read through the manual. You'll be able to get in there. And now I could go and access those smart drive modes. So right now I have it set up in trainer mode. So I'm just gonna go drive it around for a little bit so you can see what that looks like. And as you can see, that is pretty tame. So that is perfect for someone that's learning how to drive, just dials everything down, makes it nice and smooth for them to drive. All right, so now I could actually go and switch that on the fly. I have it set up to use the A trim over here to go and toggle through the different smart modes. So next up is full rip. I'm gonna pass full rip. Let me go down to, I'm gonna go to stability. So right there, I just use the A button. You guys probably can't see that in there, but I switched it over to stability. So now that should help smoothing some things out, but give me some more power. So that certainly helped out a bit as far as keeping this thing under control. I'm actually gonna go and switch it over to slick now to keep this thing in line while ripping on the throttle going through this dirt here. Wow, that one's pretty awesome, guys. I can definitely feel it basically taming the throttle for me and keeping the car in line. That is pretty trick. All right, now I'm gonna just switch it over to full rip and just go have some fun with it. All right, so full rip really is full rip. There is no control by the radio system, by the ABC. It is all under your control. This thing has always been a handful. It has a lot of power to it. It is a lot of fun, but I could definitely see how all these different modes could be a real help to those getting into RC and those who, you know, just want some assist while they're driving. So it's time to wrap up this review of the Spektrum DX5 Pro, and as you expect, guys, it's a great radio system. I mean, it's from Spektrum. It's one of the most well-known brands out there for RC, and they do a great job with their radio systems, and it holds true here with the DX5 Pro. Now, as you saw, I took it out to the BMX track and just did some testing with those smart drive modes, and yes, it really works. I mean, the cool factor there for me was, you know, I'm using the toggle switch to toggle through those different modes, going from training mode to stability mode to slick mode and then full rip mode. I thought that was pretty cool, and they did the job. You know, that trainer mode, I could see that being perfect for someone where maybe you're driving your car and somebody wants to try it out. They're not familiar with RC. You could just go flip it right into that training mode and they could go drive it. That was very cool. Or maybe you're getting some great equipment to start off with and you're learning how to drive. You just start off with the training mode and then just easily flip into one of the other modes, like full rip mode or stability mode, you know, once you're comfortable. So I definitely like that feature. I think that is very cool. The other thing that was really cool that I didn't seem to touch on much before was the telemetry. Our Tenacity T is already equipped with a telemetry module in there from a previous test that we did. And I went in and I bound the radio system to that telemetry module and I was viewing the RPMs on the screen. I think that was pretty neat as well. So it's got, you know, a number of different functionalities that are all built into this thing, not to mention all the other stuff that we normally use and want in a pro level style radio. We got the trim adjust and the EPA and the lap counter and 250 model memory, not to mention being able to adjust your servos and stuff. This radio system also has a great feel to it. I actually went and installed it in my Team Losi Racing 22.4, brought it down to the local turf track and ripped a few laps with it. And I have to say, I like the radio system just right out of the box, just as you get it. I didn't wind up switching the handle on it. I did try swapping out the degreed angle on there for the steering wheel, but you know what? When it came down to it, just the position right out of the box was perfect for me. But you know, I could see this being a comfortable radio to use during long racing events, short racing events, and again, when you're up there on the stand, you need to make an adjustment. It's so easy to flip through the screen on this. This is really a fully loaded radio system, and there are other radio systems above this. There's the DX6R, you know, full computer radio system. But if price is a big concern for you guys, I think this is well priced to where, you know, you could go and be a basher with it and have all the functionality you need. And then you could maybe go and be a racer with it as well and have everything you need for that. So it's really a great all-in-one radio system. If you're looking to upgrade, if you're just looking for a great radio that will last you a long time in your RC hobby, you need to check out the Spektrum DX5 Pro.